Meet Dr. Vikram Mehta, a 45-year-old pediatrician from Chennai. Despite years of successful medical practice, he had a secret that kept him awake at night. 20 years of saving money, and I still don't know if I'm investing it right. Son, just focus on becoming a good doctor. Money matters will take care of themselves. But they had not. Despite his comfortable income, Vikram felt lost in the world of investing. Doctor, your next patient is ready. Another crash. I've lost money again. You should try this new crypto coin. My nephew made millions with this. No, real estate is the only safe investment. Overwhelmed by conflicting advice and recent market volatility, Vikram decided that it was time to financially educate himself. Written by a neurologist turned investment expert, now that's interesting. As he began reading Bernstein's book, something clicked. Here was a fellow doctor speaking about investing in a way that finally made sense. The essence of investment is uncertainty, and dealing with uncertainty requires science, not emotion. The first lesson that struck him was Bernstein's emphasis on understanding market history and human psychology. Just like in medicine, you need to understand the underlying principles before making a diagnosis. Maybe it's time to treat my investments with the same scientific rigor I bring to my medical practice. But as Vikram delved deeper into Bernstein's principles, he realized that everything he thought he knew about investing, maybe chasing hot stocks and timing the market, isn't the answer after all. Armed with Bernstein's first lessons about market history, Dr. Vikram was ready to face an uncomfortable truth, analyzing his current investment portfolio. Mutual funds from every bank, 3 insurance policies, direct stocks, gold, what a mess. Sir, this is a special fund just for doctors. Dr. Vikram, this policy will surely make you a millionaire. Trust me, sir, this pharmaceutical stock can never go wrong. Bernstein's words hit home hard. The financial services industry is not your friend. These high-fee mutual funds have been underperforming for years, and these insurance policies are giving barely 4% returns. But we have known our financial advisor for years. That's exactly the problem, brother. We have been choosing comfort over competence. Following Bernstein's guidance, Vikram began the painful but necessary process of portfolio analysis. So I have paid over 8 lakhs in just fees and commissions in the last 5 years. Yes, I want to exit all these policies, and I do understand the cancellation charges, but I am sure I want to do this. The hardest part wasn't making the changes, it was dealing with the reactions. You are selling your LIC policies, but that's our family tradition. Times have changed, uncle. We need to adapt. Look, Bernstein explains it perfectly in his book. Knowledge beats tradition in investing. Armed with Bernstein's principles, Vikram began rebuilding his portfolio from scratch. Owning the entire market through low-cost index funds is not just simpler, it's smarter too. From 30 investments to just 5. This feels right. But as Vikram turned the page to Bernstein's next chapter, he realized that creating a simple portfolio was just the beginning. Now came the harder part. Understanding asset allocation, risk tolerance, age-based investing. This is where science meets psychology. With his portfolio simplified, Dr. Vikram faced Bernstein's most crucial lesson, understanding asset allocation. Stocks for growth, bonds for stability. But what's the right balance? Can't we just put everything in stocks? The returns are better. But Bernstein says that it's not that simple. We need to balance risk and return. This is where diversification comes in. Following Bernstein's guidance, Vikram began analyzing his risk tolerance and time horizon. I am 45 years old now, planning to retire at 60. That is 15 years to grow my wealth, but I cannot afford to lose it all either. One of Bernstein's key principles, the importance of true diversification. 70% in stocks across large cap, small cap, and international markets. 30% in high quality bonds. But Vikram, my portfolio is 100% in tech stocks. Look at the returns. And what happens when the tech sector crashes? Diversification isn't about maximizing returns. It's about managing risk. Markets plunge 8% in biggest single day fall. And this is exactly why we diversify. Some investments go down, others stay stable. But sir, isn't this too conservative for our age? Think of it like a vaccine. We are protecting ourselves against financial diseases before they get to strike. As months passed by, Vikram's disciplined approach began showing results. His portfolio wasn't always the best performer, but it was steadily growing with much lesser volatility. Now that I understand asset allocation, what's next? Rebalancing. With his portfolio properly allocated, Dr. Vikram now faced what Bernstein called one of the most challenging aspects of investing, maintaining discipline through market cycles. Markets have now hit all-time highs. Experts predict another 30% rally. The more enthusiastic your neighbors become about stocks, the more worried you should be. Sir, Everyone's talking about this new tech fund. It's given 40% returns. Do you remember what happened to those crypto investors last year? Bernstein's teachings about market cycles were proving invaluable. It seems that stocks are outperforming bonds significantly. I'm sure it is time to rebalance. But why sell something that's doing so well? That's exactly when you should sell. Bernstein calls it harvesting your gains. The hardest part, however, wasn't the mathematics. It was fighting his own emotions. Market are down 20%. Every instinct says to sell. But Bernstein says this is exactly when I should buy more. Think of rebalancing like preventive medicine. You don't wait for a disease to become serious before treating it. But isn't timing the market important? Bernstein says market timing is like trying to catch a falling knife. Dangerous and usually painful. Over time, Vikram developed his own system for maintaining investment discipline. So markets are down 15%. I'll stick to plan and buy more equity as per asset allocation. As years passed, Vikram's disciplined approach began showing remarkable results. How do you stay so calm during market crashes? Because I'm not gambling, I'm following a scientific approach to investing. But sir, this is all too complicated. Actually, it's the opposite. As Bernstein says, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication in investing. But as Vikram neared the end of Bernstein's book, he realized there was one final crucial lesson to learn: how to adapt his strategy as he approached retirement. The entire game changes when you're no longer accumulating but preserving. Little did Vikram know, this final lesson would bring together everything he had learned, testing his resolve one last time. As Dr. Vikram approached the final chapters of Bernstein's book, he faced his ultimate challenge, preparing for retirement and securing his legacy. It's not just about my retirement anymore. It's about creating a lasting financial legacy. 5 years had now passed since Vikram first discovered the investor's manifesto. His transformation from a confused investor to a confident mentor was remarkable. Dr. Mehta, how did you learn all this? From another doctor who understood that investing, like medicine, needs both science and patience. His disciplined approach had paid off. Despite 2 market crashes and countless volatility cycles, his portfolio had grown steadily. Father, my friend's parents lost so much money in the last crash. That is because they tried to time the market. We made a plan and stuck to it. Following Bernstein's final lessons, Vikram began the gradual transition of his portfolio. As you approach retirement, protecting what you have becomes more important than growing it. Are you sure about reducing our stock exposure? Bernstein says that the worst time to take big risks is when you cannot afford to start over. Remember, successful investing isn't about getting rich quickly. It's about not getting poor gradually. Looking back, Vikram realized that Bernstein's greatest gift wasn't just investment knowledge, it was peace of mind. Now I can focus on what I love, being confident that my financial future is secure. Sir, where should we start? Start with educating yourselves. As Bernstein says, the more you know, the better you do. And that's how one book transformed not just Dr. Vikram's financial life, but the lives of countless others he mentored. If you found this story inspiring, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more financial wisdom. Hit the bell icon to stay notified about our upcoming videos. Share your thoughts about the book in the comments below. Want to learn more about investment classics? Let us know which book you'd like us to cover next. Remember, as Dr. Vikram learned, successful investing isn't about timing. It's about knowledge, discipline, and a bit of patience.